Stop what you are doing right now. If there's noise around you, let the silence settle. If there's someone nearby, this moment is not for them. It is for you, the chosen one. What comes next is not background content. It demands everything from you. You have passed the test. You walked through the fire of betrayal. You endured the silence when you had every reason to explode. You stood firm where anyone else would have crumbled. The world saw you at your limit, and the enemy thought your exhaustion would be your end. They understood nothing. This very morning, heaven recalculated the trajectory of your life, and I need to tell you exactly why the phase of surviving and fighting has just concluded in the divine court. You didn't arrive here because of an algorithm. You arrived because you were marked to arrive. This is divine alignment, and what you survived was not meant to break you. It was meant to prepare you for this exact moment. Your mind replays the same conversation at 3 a.m., a body that still tenses in situations it shouldn't. The money that comes in and disappears without a trace. The feeling of wearing armor that you can't take off. The inescapable question, why them and not me? The innocent question from a child or spouse that stings because you have no answer. There is something I am going to place in your hands before this message concludes. Something Solomon recorded for the chosen one who needs to navigate the subtle sabotage, the silent envy, the paralyzing indecision, and that fits in your pocket. It's not a book to study. It's an instrument to bear the weight you carry. I will return to this. For now, it stays with you. That persistent feeling in the pit of your stomach, the one that flares up when the phone rings with that particular name on the caller ID, or the silence at the dinner table becomes oppressive. About precisely that, I have already placed the instrument for you in the first pinned comment. Should you need to leave before the end, it is there. But stay, because the Hebrew name for what is happening to you has not yet been revealed. You've always felt that this profound internal exhaustion isn't merely human but spiritual, haven't you? What if this pattern of relentless self-sacrifice is a signal that there's a battle against the very purpose God has placed upon your chosen life? It was in seeking answers to these deeper questions that I discovered this digital guide called the Solomon Code. This guide isn't just for reading. It is a key to spiritual understanding, a tool crafted for those who wish to see beyond appearances, to stop treating the subtle attacks as mere discomfort, and to grasp why that specific opposition rises so powerfully against those marked by God. Many chosen ones on this channel have already felt the call of the code, but haven't yet made the decision to download the digital guide. Download it right now. It's available in the first pinned comment. If you are one of the first to download, return here and write Amen. This will be your act of faith, and today God may reveal to you why this specific opposition has risen against your life. First, the involuntary vigil. You find yourself awake at odd hours, your mind racing, replaying conversations or imagining future confrontations. It's not just insomnia, it's a spiritual alarm, a sentinel within you that senses a threat, a breach in the walls of your peace. What seems like restless nights is actually your spirit on high alert, discerning something you haven't yet consciously named. Second, the sacred deflection. You constantly give, pour out, serve, often to those who give little in return. You find peace in helping others, but feel an inexplicable emptiness when you seek help yourself. This isn't just generosity, it's a strategy for avoiding deeper pain. Say a subconscious protection. What feels like constant giving might be a diverted focus, a way to keep your own vulnerabilities guarded. And about this specific scene, the uncomfortable silence that lingers in the family dining room, or the sudden, unsettling thought that flashes into your mind during moments of peace, I've already placed the instrument for you in the first pinned comment. Should you need to leave before the end, it is there. But stay, because the Hebrew name for what is happening to you has not yet been revealed. Third, the silent altar of the family. There are burdens, emotional, financial, relational, that you absorb from your family, taking on roles or responsibilities that aren't truly yours. You become the quiet mediator, the unspoken pillar. This isn't just family loyalty, it's a deep ancestral pattern of sacrifice, where you unknowingly carry the emotional debts of others. What looks like loving support is often a spiritual inheritance you're bearing out of turn. Fourth, the inexplicable peace. Despite all the inner turmoil and the outer challenges, there's a deep-seated calm within you that sometimes surprises even yourself. A sense that no matter how chaotic things get, a foundational peace remains untouched. What seems like mere resilience is a divine core, a gift from God that anchors you amidst the storm, protecting your true identity. Fifth, the donor's loneliness. You often feel alone in your journey, a solitary figure tirelessly giving, supporting, and understanding others, yet rarely finding someone who reciprocates with the same depth. This isn't isolation by choice. It's the peculiar solitude of the one who gives from a well that everyone drinks from, but few bother to replenish. What feels like isolation is often the quiet, often unacknowledged path of the chosen giver, whose reward isn't found in human reciprocation, but in divine affirmation. Now let me share a concrete tool with you, one that you can apply today. It's called the 3 breaches diagnostic, rooted in Proverbs 3:5-6. This isn't just about identifying problems. It's about discerning where the enemy gains access, how the subtle sabotage works. First, identify the breach in your peace. What is the one recurrent thought that steals your sleep? The anxiety that constantly whispers in your ear? Pinpoint it. Don't fight it with logic, simply name it. Second, identify the breach in your provision. Where does your energy, your time, your resources seem to drain without yielding fruit? Is it a relationship, a responsibility, a habit? Recognize it as a place where your resources are quietly being siphoned away. Third, identify the breach in your clarity. What decision feels stuck? What path remains murky, even after much thought or prayer? This is where discernment is obscured, where the enemy sows confusion. This diagnostic, simple yet profound, allows you to name the enemy's access points. And as it is written in Proverbs 3:5-6 in the ESV, trust in the Lord with all your heart, and do not lean on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he will make straight your paths. This tool begins the process of acknowledging him in these breaches, so he can make your paths straight. And if you are feeling right now that this is exactly what you need, even before I continue, place your thumb right now over the link in the first pinned comment. Don't click yet. Just place your thumb. Feel the weight of the decision before you make it. This guide isn't a method to do more. It's an instrument to sustain more. It doesn't train you, it covers you. And the next morning of exhaustion arrives sooner than it seems. It comes with 2 seals for your home, not for your performance. The first seal is the ritual of the righteous sleep. It's an audio. You don't read, you lie down. And what you once called insomnia, today you will call an unsealed vigil. And you will learn to seal the night with the right name, in the right order, in the right voice. The second seal is the awakening of clarity, the 7 morning decrees. 7 short phrases, 1 for each morning of the week. So you no longer wake without identity. So you navigate the first hour of the day with the stance of one who was sent, not one who was run over. You have a 7-day unconditional guarantee to use and feel. 7 full days. If within 7 days the instrument hasn't touched what needs to be touched in you, if clarity hasn't arrived, you send an email and get your money back. No questions asked, no justification needed. And the 2 seals, the ritual and the decrees, remain yours even if you return it. They are yours unconditionally. But I need to be direct with you. The real risk isn't spending less than 2 coffees. The real risk is the next morning of exhaustion arriving and you still being empty-handed. That's the risk that has a face, and it's about this face that I need to speak with you now. And perhaps you're asking yourself now some questions that deserve an answer before we proceed. What if this is just my own anxiety and not a spiritual attack? True spiritual attacks often manifest as intense anxiety, not just ordinary worry. This guide helps you discern the source. I've tried so many other things. Why would this be different? This is not another self-help book. It's a spiritual instrument designed to activate what's already within you. Is it too late for me? God's timing is perfect. If you're hearing this, it means it's precisely the right time for you. And even then, if you just want the guide, it's already enough, but the complete package comes with all 3. A 38-year-old nurse, working night shifts, constantly felt a pervasive, unsettling anxiety even during her rest days. She began using the Solomon Code after months of trying to ignore the constant low hum of fear. In the first week of using the ritual of the righteous sleep, she found a depth of peace she hadn't experienced in years. The message she sent me read, "Finally, my soul can truly rest, not just my body." A 51-year-old small business owner, father of 3, battled silent frustration, feeling his efforts were constantly undermined by unseen forces. He found himself perpetually exhausted, despite working fewer hours. After implementing the 7 morning decrees, he started his days with a clear purpose and noticed a significant shift in his emotional resilience. His words, "It's like a shield for my day. I no longer feel drained by noon." A 27-year-old recent graduate, struggling to find her footing in a competitive field, felt a crushing sense of inadequacy and self-doubt. She felt like an imposter, even when achieving success. The Solomon Code helped her reclaim her true identity beyond her performance. She wrote to me, "I stopped fighting myself and started walking in my calling. Perhaps in 3 hours you'll be lying in bed again, with your mind still racing, remembering you saw this video yet still did not extend your hand. Perhaps on the next Monday morning, the same weariness will descend. Perhaps in the next critical meeting, the same doubt will creep in. And the consequence continues to arrive with the same alarm clock, with the same coffee, with the same door opening in the next morning." The link is in the first pinned comment. Pinned for you, not for all. For you, the chosen one, who needs to navigate the next challenge with the instrument in hand. Click now. And when you do that, when you open this link, you are not purchasing a book. You are accepting an instrument that Solomon prepared for your ordinary day. And what you will understand next, when you hear the Hebrew word that is coming now, will change the way you read everything that has happened until this moment. The Hebrew word that precisely defines what is happening to you, the chosen one, is Shema. Pronounce it softly with me wherever you are. Shema. Shema means to guard, to watch over, to protect. But it's not just that. It's an active, vigilant protecting, like a shepherd keeping watch over his flock or a sentinel guarding city walls. It's not just a dictionary translation. It's a word that describes a state, a posture, a calling. And when you hear this word, something within you calms, because it was already happening within you. You just didn't have a name for it. And about this word, it is written in Psalm 4, verse 8, in the ESV, "In peace I will both lie down and sleep. For you alone, O Lord, make me dwell in safety." This is not a promise for the future. It's a declaration of a present state, a shamar. Consider the story of Joseph. His problem was profound familial betrayal, leading to false accusations and imprisonment. He was chosen, but his path was anything but comfortable. The instrument given to him was the gift of interpreting dreams, allowing him to discern patterns and predict future events. This powerful insight was not always accepted, leading to more immediate suffering, but it kept him connected to a divine plan. He operated this instrument in the daily grind of slavery and imprisonment, remaining faithful and discerning even in the darkest dungeons. The turning point came when he interpreted Pharaoh's dream, saving an entire nation from famine, eventually leading him to a position of immense power. And what Joseph needed to improvise in the pits and palaces, you can now do with a guide in hand. The instrument Solomon recorded is the same that awaits you in the first pinned comment. Let me pause for a full minute and put everything you just heard into simple words, without poetry, without metaphor, just the facts. Fact 1. There is a spirit of subtle sabotage. Fact 2. It operates by creating internal and external breaches that drain your peace and purpose. Fact 3. Joseph was a target of this same attack, yet he prevailed. Fact 4. Your hesitation, which you call prudence, is exactly what this spirit needs to convince you to give up on your next calling. There are 3 types of calling being tested now by the spirit of subtle sabotage. You are one of these 3 types. When I name yours, your spirit will leap with recognition. The first type is the bridge builder. They are attacked by divisions, misunderstandings, and misinterpretations, seeking to dismantle their efforts to connect. The second type is the silent watcher. They suffer from invisible attacks, feeling overlooked, unseen, their quiet faithfulness weaponized against them by the enemy who wants them to feel isolated. The third type is the steward of secrets. They carry sensitive truths, visions, or mandates that the enemy tries to expose prematurely or twist into harmful revelations, leading to deep internal pressure. And upon your type, heaven has already sealed 3 names. The first name is Sower of the Hidden. This is the one whose work is often unseen, bearing fruit in secret, whose impact is more profound than immediately apparent. The Solomon Code teaches you how to protect your hidden harvest. The second name is Sentinel of the Moed. This one understands divine timing, patiently guarding their appointed season, knowing when to act and when to wait. The Solomon Code reveals the rhythms of unfolding. The third name is Architect of Tomorrow. This one builds plans and dreams for a future shaped by divine design, even when the present feels chaotic. The Solomon Code gives you an unshakable blueprint. If one of these 3 names resonated most powerfully with you, write its corresponding number below in the comments. 1, 2, or 3. This is your first act of taking possession of your identity. And for each sealed name, the adversary has a specific tactic. For the Sower of the Hidden, the tactic is discouragement through lack of visible fruit. For the Sentinel of the Moed, it's impatience and false urgency. For the Architect of Tomorrow, it's paralyzing doubt and confusion about the next step. But for each of these, there are weapons. 3 weapons: the decree of inner calm, the shield of divine timing, and the sword of clear purpose. And these 3 weapons alone are merely a reminder. With an instrument, they become covering. To recognize the cycle without having the instrument Solomon left is to receive the diagnosis without the treatment. And what's more, there are 4 portals beyond these 3 that I cannot open here, not for lack of time, but for their depth. Each requires its own page with the exact counter-weapon, and while I do not deliver these 4 here, the spirit of subtle sabotage knows them all. The guide delivers. But before I release you, there is one last point. The final obstacle is not the enemy. It is a voice within you that sounds dangerously reasonable. It is the fear of seeming ungrateful. It is the fear that by accepting an instrument, you are telling God that what He has already done was not enough. It is false piety. It is pride dressed as humility. God does not give you strength so that you refuse the weapons He Himself forged for your battle. Accepting the instrument is not doubting strength. It is honoring the general's strategy. Now I want you to close your eyes wherever you are, place your right hand over your chest, and repeat softly with me, if you need to. But let it come from your mouth. Father, I surrender the weariness that has accumulated in these recent months. I surrender the need to earn my peace, to prove my worth through constant striving. I release myself from the fear of seeming ungrateful. This is the subtlest chain, the one that whispers, you should be content with what you have suffered. No more. My urgency is my gratitude. And I now receive the 3 names that were sealed upon me: Sower of the Hidden, Sentinel of the Moed, Architect of Tomorrow. Not for me to boast, but for me to remember, for me to navigate what comes with them on my lips, in my posture, in my heart. And before the voice that comes now, I need you to hear one thing. The intensity of what you've experienced in recent months is not proof that something is wrong with you. It is proof that you are exactly where you always knew you were meant to be. If this resonates with you now, write below, I receive the turning point. And now the Father's voice. Listen, my child, I saw you. I saw you battle the subtle sabotage in silence. I never lost sight of you. I never closed the seat at my table with your name on it. Your name is engraved on the palms of my hands. The chair is yours. My pride in your generous, faithful, righteous heart was never withheld from you. And there is a voice speaking within you now, a voice that says, this isn't for me, this is for someone with greater faith. I need you to hear this from me now. You have permission. You have permission to receive what you did not earn. You have permission to occupy the chair at the table without having to justify it. You have permission to let die the version of yourself that needed to suffer to feel worthy. Solomon did not prepare this instrument for those who are already ready. He prepared it for those who are tired, and the one who is tired right now is you. I now extend my hand toward your home and decree a covering of sealing over everything that belongs to you. over your table, that it may be a place of discernment and true communion, not silent anxiety. I declare a covering over your children and your spouse, if you have them, that they may walk in their own divine calling, shielded from the subtle attacks that attempt to distract them. And I decree a covering over your work, over your hands, that your labor may be fruitful and aligned with heavenly purpose, not drained by unseen forces. You are committed, you are commissioned, you are sent. You are committed, you are commissioned, you are sent. You are committed, you are commissioned, you are sent. Before I release you, I want you to walk with me into a room you have not yet seen with your physical eyes. Do not force it. Just let the image come. There is a long, dark, wooden table. The light comes from above, from a place you cannot identify. There are people seated there. Some you loved and are now gone. Others you have not yet met. The faces feel like family, and there is an empty chair near the head of the table. The shape of you is carved into it. The wood remembers you. Solomon is at the head and he nods as if to say, "We have been waiting for you." You are not creating this scene. You are remembering it. The chair has always been yours. Only you were missing. Do not say amen yet. Sit in that for a moment. Feel the weight of what just happened. Now you can say amen. The Solomon Code is waiting for you in the first pinned comment right below, with the ritual of the righteous sleep and the 7 morning decrees. For less than 2 coffees, because a sour of the hidden without coverage will rot in the next morning of exhaustion. And the adversary is counting on the next challenge. It's not an expense, it's an instrument. And Solomon prepared it for you to traverse what comes with a firm hand, not an empty one. With a 7-day guarantee, the risk is ours, the hand is yours. Click now while the decree is still alive in your heart. Not tomorrow, not after your shower, because those who leave it for later leave it for never. And the adversary already knows this. In the next 3 hours he will speak within you. Not in a loud voice, in sequence, 5 short phrases. Tomorrow you'll think about it. You need this money. It's not the right time. You need another sign. This isn't for you, it's for someone with greater faith. If it's from God, it will happen eventually. You don't need to do anything. 5 waves. He tries from 5 angles. You will yield at some point. Today, now, before the next challenge, not later. Today. And Solomon will stand with you, and before you go, think of one specific person. Not many, just one. The person whose name just came to you when I said that. The person who has been silent, faithful, unseen, being attacked in the same way. Someone who has been coming home carrying a weight that is not theirs. Someone who needs the same sealing you just received. Send this video to them. They are waiting for this word to arrive. Perhaps it will be your hand that delivers it. It's not a favor, it's service, and heaven sees. If you watch this video until the end, comment below, "Amen received," and send this video to that specific person who came to your mind. It is done. What was delivered here was delivered. You are not the same person you were when you pressed play. You are deeply loved. You were never forgotten. The chair is yours, and so it is sealed. The next early morning challenge can wait.